Welcome back to Whiskey with E. I'm Eric. Now today we are continuing on the whiskies with the E trend. We are going to try something that some may see as overhyped, but highly chased, highly sought after, generally marked up in the price. So without further ado, let me introduce to you the Blantons. Oh my goodness. Now, normally, let's just say I used to drink a lot of Blantons. Now, for an example, all right, sorry about the lighting thing, but here we go. I'm just going to pull up some of these Blantons. A lot of people used to, give hate on the Blantons, and you know what? I even gave hate on the Blantons because for the price, I honestly would rather a rare breed back in the day. Now this is becoming more expensive than the rare breed. Oh, there's actually some left in there. It actually looks very bad now. We won't even try that. Alrighty, so for everyone that doesn't know, Blanton's in Australia comes like, we have the Blanton Special Reserve, which is the 80 proof version. Alrighty. Yeah, I may as well grab one out to show you. Oh, actually, I had one beside me anyway. See, look, the horsey sits in there like so. But here, we'll grab one that's already out, guys. See, so normally, if you don't get the box with it, they give it to you like this. You got a little net thing, all right? So there you go, Blanton's. This is the 80 proof version. Oh, got to be careful to try not break that wax, alrighties. And then we got our one that we are going to try today, which is the 93 proof. Now here's two different barrels, but look at this. They were both dumped on the 19th, the 19th day of the 10th month, 2021, as you can see here. Alrighties, but these are both from different barrels. So barrel number 381 and barrel number 378. So for everyone that doesn't know, it is a single barrel product. It is the first single barrel product ever to be introduced, into the world. Now, Kentucky Spirit. Oh, you can't see the bottle. The Wild Turkey Kentucky Spirit. Now that is the second single barrel product that was released into the world. Now after that one, we have the gold label or the gold edition, but I don't have the gold edition. Now keep in mind there's all these other editions as well. If you're in Japan and Japanese only releases the red label or the black label, and there's all these other really rare collectible ones. Some of you may have seen on YouTube, maybe like a full silver Blanton's made out of real sterling silver, or all these ones that we're never going to get to see or own. Or some of you may see alright, let me show you another one. The straight from the barrel. Now this is probably the one that if I do see, I am definitely grabbing. It's the one that I would justify paying the price for it. Now here in Australia, I've already enjoyed one, I think. The one that I enjoyed was from 2020. There we go. Now I got 3 more straight from the barrels, all from different years. But you know what? Today we are going to try the original one. Alrighty, so all that out of the way, let's get this open. Let's get it out of this box. Alrighty, so it opens up like so. Just want to grab it out. Alright, just chuck that box out of that way. Alrighty, now this one is also a 3 from barrel number 381. So see, I've already enjoyed this barrel before. For everyone that can see that barrel number 381 dumped on the I've already said See, I say it opposite, because here in Australia we would have the date first and then the month second. So when I say it like this for you guys, I get confused. Alright, so the 10th month of the 19th day, 2021. Whereas here in Australia, it would have been the 19th of the 10th, 2021. Just sharing. Alrighty, so So this one, barrel number 381, also, all right, from Rick number 15. Alrighties, sorry if the lighting's annoying you, because it really does annoy me too, but I'll just show you guys the bottle. Alrighties, and we'll have a little read as well. Alright, so stored in warehouse H, barrel number 381, Rick House number 15. Let me have a little read of this label bit. We believe this is the finest bottle of whiskey ever produced. Whoa, that is a big claim. Alrighties, affording you extra flavor, bouquet and character. Each bottle is recorded with the master registration at Blanton's Distilling Company. This registration bottle number is 250. There you go. I wonder what the other one that I had was. Bottle registration number 247. So sometimes when you are buying a whole bunch of them, you know, they can either have the same dump date, but maybe some are just from different barrels. It just really depends if you know what you get. So I have a whole bunch of Blantons that are very close in barrel numbers or bottling registration numbers. So pretty much when they get shipped out to stores, they tend to be all the same barrels, if not, you know. All right, I'm blabbering. We've gone through this now. While I open this up and pour it up, we'll have a little read of the box. But as you can see, Blanton's comes with a little letter right here at the back. Now this is what people be chasing. All right, every horse is different, you know, like the S, all the horses is different. So essentially it looks like a horsey in a race. It's running. All the letters pretty much spell out Blantons. Alrighties. So this is letter A. Alright, you know what? Let's get it open. So how you want to get it open is, there is these little pulley tab bits here. So you want to just grab one and just rip it around. Alrighties. Essentially, here we go. Goodbye value. Goodbye tucking away investment properties. Here we go. All right, see, the tab bit comes off like so. This wax part just kind of comes off if you get it to come off. If not, we can just leave it on. We'll just pull out the cork. Here we go. Pause for the cork pop. Here we go. Alrighty, here we go, guys. Let me put this here for a sec. Let me pour it up. Alrighty, here we go. Healthy pour. Put that up for the time being. Let it open up. Put this cork back on it. How about that, eh? I made it so that the wax didn't fully break. Hey? There you go. Careful. This could be counterfeited. If you're not careful, guys, I'm sure people could be sneaky. Maybe put in like a non-Blanton's in there. We'll just put that little tab back. I mean, I hear there is a world of counterfeit people. People do counterfeit things in the world. Yeah, well, I'm going to put that right here. Now, these other two bottles of Blanton's now are also from the same date, but these are different bottle numbers. I think I mentioned this one is from barrel number 378. 381 is the barrel that we're trying. Alrighties, so let's have a little read of that box. Here we go. So what I'm reading right here is the back here, guys. The finest bourbon in the world, whoa, comes from a single barrel, and it is never blended with whiskey from another barrel. It is a costly, painstaking way to produce bourbon, for bourbon's peak maturity varies from barrel to barrel, and only a master distiller can determine the exact moment the whiskey has extracted enough flavor from the wood. Thus, he vigilantly monitors each barrel until it's aged to perfection and is deemed worthy of the Blanton's label. That's why our bottle carries no age statement, just the hand-marked information you see here. Alrighties. That's the way Colonel Albert B. Blanton first bottled his private reserve bourbon nearly a century ago. Colonel Blanton believed the center cut or middle sections of Warehouse H were the best for aging his bourbon. Personally tasting and choosing each barrel, these barrels were reserved and bottled for ambassadors, dignitaries, family, and friends, becoming the world's first single barrel bourbon, as I mentioned. His time-honored tradition lives on today as only a handful of barrels from the center of Warehouse H are selected to become Blanton's original private reserve. Blanton's Kentucky Straight Barrel Whiskey, Barrel Bourbon Whiskey, 46.5%, alrighty, so 93 proof, 93 proof. My apologies, the lighting situation. I'm going to try stay right here. Alrighty. Alright, here we go. Let's grab it. So the color, I mean, essentially it's not too dark, guys. It is a nice golden color, I guess, if you look at it that way. I was going to do this outside for you to have more lighting and all that, but then I thought it's going to be too much for me to carry out everything, and so dangerous to take things out there. Things could fall, things could break, all that jazz. Dogs barking, planes flying over, all sorts of things. So while we're in here, it can be nice and quiet. Sometimes production issues, people knocking on the door, stuff like that. But all right, let's get to the bourbon. Here we go. So on the nose, it is really candied. You know, the vanilla, the caramel notes, it's not really popping, if that makes sense. But it is there. It's almost like a dusty corn kind of note. You could almost say it's floral. I don't know if that makes sense. What, like slight minty without the mints? That makes no sense. Oh my goodness. You know, like if you weren't comparing all different bourbons together, it's so easy to just think bourbon just all smells the same, you know? Until you actually be smelling each bourbon by, you know, side to side, you're going to start to pick out more, and maybe that's what I'm going to need to do with this, just to see what else we get. There is like a slight orange peel kind of note there too. You could call that citrus. But the longer this is opening up, I mean, it is becoming more dark. All right, so it's like, obviously not dark like a really well-aged bourbon, but there is dark notes in there. There is like a dark honey note. The vanilla, the caramels, you know, maybe it's more like a brown sugar vibe. A caramelized lolly of some sort. Because there is sweetness here, but it's not bright, you know, so kind of like there's also even there's like an apple note in here, but it's not the bright green apples. See what I mean by it's dark? So I'm thinking like, man, hard to explain a dark apple. All right, maybe like, you know, when you have a hot apple pie from McDonald's and it's more cooked, you know, and it's got that cinnamon there too. I guess you could say that. There you go. Like a apple pie instead of a crisp green apple. You know what? Let's just have a taste. Cheers, everyone. Here we go. Hmm. That was a really good first sip. I was expecting a lot of spikes or a bit of heat or this and that, but honestly, maybe it's just because I've just been coming off the Baker's 107, so you feel a bit more of that heat. This only being 93 proof. Yeah, 93. Alright, so 46.5%. Essentially, pretty much the same as the very fine, very rare, maybe? I can't remember that was now, but same proof level, but that was obviously more soft and less heat. So you could tell that this isn't the very aged bourbon, but as they say, they're picking it at its right time. I don't know if it is the right time, but I mean, maybe I would have some well-aged Blantons. I think Blantons could probably go well with more age, but then again, I think there is releases of Blantons that is higher age Blantons, which I hear may be better, but we're here to judge this one. So let's go for a second sip. We're not going to think about that first one too much. Here we go, guys. You know, you are getting some barrel, you know. Like the oaky presence is all there. I mean, the sweet is there, but it's not predominantly over sweet. So that vanilla and the caramel isn't really like taken over. I mean, we can compare it to like a little Weller or something, but we all know that's just going to be very oakier. You know, this is more like a barrel oak. You know, it's not like a well-aged sweet oak. The sweet essentially is probably just coming off from its youthfulness. Honestly, for what it is, it drinks not bad, guys. I mean, I can't personally have anything bad to say about it. Like, honestly, I do enjoy higher proof bourbons, but we got to try judge things for what it is, for what the proof is. You know, is it thin, is it watery, and it's none of that, you know. It's actually a very good bourbon for this proof point. Even the 80 proof version of the Blantons is probably the best 80 proof bourbon I've had. So, you know, a lot of times 80 proof, it's very thin, it's very watery, and here in Australia we even get 37%, so lower than our 80 proof. You know, our Jim Beams are 37%. You know, there's benchmarks, or I think that's 37%, not 40%. But anyways, oh my goodness. Maybe I'll add in a drop of water, but you know what? I'm going to keep enjoying this glass. We'll pour up another one. Honestly, it's just quintessential kind of bourbon notes. I am really trying to pick out things, but it's not like, you know, when you have certain bottles, very fine, rare, buzzwords, that you're actually getting a lot of creamy notes. It's more that vanilla, that oak is really prominent. But there is a slight, you know, that candied sweetness in there, so you could look at that as the raspberry, the slight cherry kind of note, but it's not prominent, guys. I mean, it's weaving in there, but it's not jumping out. Yeah, sweet, dusty kind of corn. Oh my goodness. All right, let's have another taste, guys. Cheers, everyone. Unedited, unscripted, totally unprofessional, just me sharing my thoughts, guys. Cheers, everyone. Honestly, a little bit of heat comes on right near the mid palate, But I'm not saying it goes into a pepper spice or anything. Like, to me, this one just kind of falls a little bit flat. But keep in mind, every single barrel maybe possibly different. I mean, I really do want to crack the other barrel just to see how close of the flavor profile it is to this barrel. But I mean, this is going to be a really costly video, guys. I don't get paid to do these YouTube videos. You know, no one sends me bottles. You know, I buy everything myself, so it's a bit you know, every time I decide to break out something, I really got to make a calculated decision to do this. But I do have a few Blantons, you know, that I used to tuck away for rainy days like this, even though it's sunny outside. You know what I mean. Like, even though I've already had this barrel, I just wasn't sure if I reviewed it, you know. I noticed that the empty bottle was there, you know, bottle number 381, but I'm not sure if I actually got to review this, to be perfectly honest. But there you go. Alright, you know what? We're pouring up another one. Oh my goodness. Alright, here we go. Now, I mean, even though you can give hate towards Blantons, and, you know, a lot of people, you know, honestly, for maybe the price and for what you guys can find in your stores, like what I said, when everyone was chasing blends, I honestly would rather pay for a Wild Turkey rare breed. I'm a barrel proof guy. The price, the proof point, you know, it didn't justify it for me. Unless you are just chasing for the letters, you want to spell out Blantons, you want to have that horsey racing full set collection. Now, I think I did have a full set collection at some point, but, you know, I started enjoying them, obviously. So at the moment, I don't even think I could spell out Blantons, maybe. I don't know. Maybe I could spell it out in empties, or I don't know. I don't think I can spell it out in sealed bottles, but maybe people collect it just for the cork. I mean, it is an iconic bottle shape, guys. Look at that. People call it the grenade bottle. Grenade! Don't throw it! Oh my goodness. Alright, here we go. We're going to go another one, but we are going to add in some water, possibly. But you know what, before we do, I mean, I can't say anything bad about it, but I'm not going to say like it's the most mind-blowing complex as bourbon. I mean, the advertisement on that box really, whew, I don't know, the best bourbon. But I'm not saying it's a bad bourbon. I'm saying everything that you want from a bourbon is going to be here. The quintessential bourbon notes, all that. I take it has to be at least 6 years old, you know? Like, I'm not getting elements of it's too young, but I'm not getting elements of it's a well-aged bourbon, you know? It's not 9, it's not 10. I don't even think it's 8. But if I'm going to guess, it'll be like 6. That's just me guessing, guys. Let me know in the comments if you actually know what Blanton's is roughly aged at. I know they say each barrel matures at a different time, so that's why they don't have an age statement. But I'm sure someone knows the inside history. I mean, the secrets. All right, here we go. I mean, I just took a little whiff just then, and, you know, you did get a little slight ethanol fumes, but honestly, it wasn't that bad. Because you are getting those traditional bourbon notes there, which, you know, anyone that smells any bourbon is just gonna, you're gonna be happy anyway, you know? Even if it's not the bestest of bourbons, best bourbon in the world. Crazy. You know what? Let's have another sip, guys. Woo, we are going past 20 minutes. You know, sometimes I get carried away. I don't edit, I don't script things. So here we go. Oh, that just drinks so soft. I mean, maybe this is just an alright barrel. I mean, yes, there was some little heat parts, you know, you could call it some slight peppery spices, like right on the mid palate, you know, you get a little bit of spikes, you know, here, there. But then it doesn't end like a peppery spice, you know, it actually, you could call it smooth. I said it. All right, we're going to add in some water. Here we go. Just a few drops, guys. I just want to see what that does. Oh my goodness. All right. Should have probably maybe filled up this glass and put in the water just to see if we're, you know, something a bit different. But honestly, me with putting in water, you know, yes, it does do something to scotches if you drink scotches. But personally, when I don't know, when I try it with bourbon, it just feels like I tone it down half the time. You know, you're taking away the heat, or, you know, like I said, I'm a barrel proof person, so this proof technically is already very low for me, 46.5%. You know what I mean? Now, here in Australia, this Blanton's, this original, I believe is currently retailing for roughly $130. Keep in mind, this used to retail at $100-ish, all right? Because the Blanton's, the Special Reserve, let's see if I can, yep, here we go. The Blanton Special Reserve, now this used to retail at roughly 60 to 80. Sometimes you could get it on sale for $50. You know, those days are well gone. I mean, nowadays you don't even see any Blanton Special Reserves in any BWSs here in this area. They totally removed it out of their stock. Maybe it's because I was the only one buying them. No one ever bought them. They just sat on the shelf until they became on sale for $50. See, that's the times that we used to be in. You know, the times where Masters Keeps used to sit on the shelves. Releases were under $200. You know, $250 was the 17-year bottled in bond, and even that was like, ooh. Now I'm gonna have to pay $600-700 for that particular bottle to replace that one. But anyways, we're steering off the topic. The whole point being, when you enjoy something, or sometimes even if you don't fully enjoy it, it is nice, but I'm not saying it's mind blowing. Sometimes it's best to just grab it. Back then, you know, that's what I was trying to think. Back then, I just thought it's best to just grab it, because who knows, the price may start to rise, and in the future I might not want to ever buy this bottle. You know, like I said, I'm already questioning the price of this here in 2024. $130 plus. The rare breed is 115. You know what I mean? Like, you can get a barrel proof bourbon, or Booker's is 120, 130. You know, probably roughly the same price as this. Now, that being said, I passed on a Blanton's Gold a few years ago. They wanted $170 for it. Now, back in those days, I was paying $180 for the straight from the barrel, so I passed on it. I'm like, extra $10, I can get it straight from the barrel. Fast forward, here in 2024, $170 for that gold edition is probably a good price. You know, so that being said, a lot of things that we are thinking that we are passing at the moment because the price is getting high, is it just going to keep getting worse? Is the prices just going to keep getting worse? You know, is things just going to get to the point where you don't even want to buy things anymore. I know a lot of people are passing on Master's Keeps because of the price hikes. Oh my goodness, I'm rambling on for a bit, forgive me. Alright, here we go. Honestly, just good quintessential bourbon notes. I don't want to be repeating myself. Let's just have another sip. Cheers everyone, drink responsibly, and as always, don't drink and drive. I mean, that just became even more soft. You know, that peppery spice, not there. That's what the water did. It made it more smooth, approachable, non-offensive. Jesus, don't take offense, guys. So, like I said, obviously, if you're like a person that mixes with an ice cube or anything, this is just going to be like very smooth. Oh, don't hate me. Very approachable, very non-offensive. All right. So, there you go, guys. Anyways, let me know in the comments if you are buying Blantons. Are you buying it to try? Do you enjoy it? Are you buying it to collect the horsey tops? Like, empties. I mean, I don't know why I don't chuck these out, but there's just something about the bottle that you can't chuck it out. Now, all of a sudden, you become a hoarder. Oh my goodness. Alright, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. It is going well past 30 minutes. I'm just going to pour up another one just because we're here. We're in the moment. And thought I'd just send yous off on a good note. So like I said, drink responsibly. I mean, pop them, guys. Enjoy them. Yes, I do hold on to bottles till the point where I feel like, you know what? I feel like trying a Blanton's today because it's probably been over a year since I've had a Blanton's, or, you know, so here we are. Now I'm thinking I want to add this into the blend. See, infinity bottle blends can never end. If you drink some out of your blend, then you can add in some of this, and then the blend continues. Okay? Alright. Honestly, it's very barrel. You know, you're getting a lot of oak. Yes, the vanilla, the caramel, and that weaving sweetness of that slight cherry or like some candied apple, but isn't like a bright, sweet green apple, more like a